Hey, hi everyone. Hi everyone, just checking to see if the audio is working. Hi everyone, just checking. Okay, it is working. Okay, cool. It's already 5:30 here in Singapore, so I'm just gonna start today's webinar. I'm gonna do the introduction, and once I'm done, I think some of you or most of you would have already joined and settled in. Right. Okay, so once again, hi everyone. Welcome to today's live trading session brought to you by IC Markets. Hi AJ, hi. How is your kids? My kids are good. They're out of the house today. I am good. How are you? How has trading been treating you? Give me a sec. I have Okay, cool. I think I had something turned on in the background. It's turned off now. Cool, the audio is working and the screen is working for everyone, right? If it's not, let me know so that I can do some technical tweaking, but otherwise I'm just going to continue with today's webinar. Okay, welcome to today's webinar brought to you by IC Markets. We're going to do another live trading session. Hopefully we find something good today, or I find something good today for my own trading. Please don't take this as a signals group. Today is the 14th of July, so I'm on the correct slides. Okay, so disclaimer, as you guys know, please do not take this as a signals group. Do not take this as financial advice or any form of investment advice. This webinar is purely for educational purposes only. The whole point of IC Markets doing these webinars for you guys is so that you guys can grow and learn to be better traders. Otherwise, this is not a signals group. It should not, again, be taken as any form of financial or investment advice. And another risk warning, trading Forex and CFDs carries significant risk. Okay, and you should not be risking your capital like more than what you can afford to lose. Okay, other than that, yeah, just be careful and happy trading. So I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Cassandra. You can call me Cass. I am an investment analyst and a prop trader at Everence Fortune Group. So Everence Fortune Group is the finalist for the best Forex and equity research for multiple years running. We do a lot of back testing, a lot of research, and a lot of forecasting of where we think the markets are going. Okay, a lot of the materials that you see may be even materials that are churned out by our team. Okay, so our team, we really know what we're doing. We've been doing this for multiple years running. So the whole point of me telling you guys this is so that you know that you're in good hands and you don't have to, be worried. Other than that, I am a prop trader. To be a prop trader, you need to do a profit of 10% within a month. That was when I did the test. Okay, and then once you pass that test, then you get funded. Okay, so I've passed that test 3 times already, meaning that I've done 10% profit 3 months in a row. Well, not in a row, but like in total of 3 months. Okay, so our agenda for today is to touch on the key approaches, cheat sheet, checklist, and live charts. This is the cheat sheet that I use. So basically, I'm going to look for trend first. I'm going to look for trend lines and channels. This is to tell me what the current trend is. I'm going to look for horizontal levels because this will help me look for my entry, my stop loss, and my take profit. Chart patterns, any death or golden cross, any natural moving averages. I'm going to use some indicators like stochastics and RSI, and one more that I really like is Ichimoku. And then we're going to use a little bit of correlation. So when I say correlation, I'll give you an example. So if the Canadian dollars goes up, usually it's because oil has gone up. Reason being because Canada has a lot of oil. It is a very big producer of oil. So if oil goes up, naturally the Canadian dollars will go up as well. Other kinds of correlations is looking at the Australian dollars versus the New Zealand dollars if you're trading the AUD USD and the NZD USD, or similarly you can look at the EUR and the GBP. They're not that correlated anymore after Brexit, but they are still pretty correlated. Okay, then we're going to look for like reversal or breakouts. I usually look for reversals and not so much on the breakouts. Okay, so that's it for the introduction. We're going to head straight to the live charts and then we can see what is going on. If you guys have any requests, do drop it in the chat box if you want me to look at it. Otherwise, I do have a fixed pair that I usually look at. Okay, I do have a fixed pair that I usually look at. No, it's not Ethereum, but we can look at Ethereum if you guys want to. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate, just give me a moment. So the fixed pairs that I've been looking at and I have been seeing results is the first being XAU USD, second being UR USD, okay, and third being AUD JPY, and the fourth being GBP JPY. Okay, so I have chosen this 4 because we'll look at that in a while. We can look at Ethereum as well. I really do love Ethereum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then A, B, C, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For those who don't know what I'm doing, I'm basically counting. Okay, A, B, and C. Okay, cool. I think I'm happy with Ethereum. Okay, let's do XAU USD first because that's the one that like we had a really good setup last week. Okay, so I think for XAU USD, I did ask, there was a sell entry here last week. I remember it so clearly, guys. I remember asking you guys, doing my analysis as here being the sell entry, the stop loss being just above this zone, and then take profit being here. So if you guys got in on that trade, let me know. I'm assuming you guys already did your own analysis and then you got in. Okay, but this was what I remember we did last week. This was a really good trade. So if I had gotten in, I want to say I because I don't want you guys to think that this is a signals group. This would have been a really, really good trade. I think it was even lower. Yeah, so I remember being 1 to 10. It went to 1 to 10. That was the potential. This was where I put my take profit, but price only reached here. So, that was my fault because I aimed for too far away. If we aim for a shorter take profit, it would have been a really good trade still, and the take profit would still have been 1 to 7. Okay, so I put the I put the take profit here, which was a week ago. It didn't hit the take profit, but price did really go in a good direction. Okay, so what are my thoughts on gold? I do still think that it could still be a sell. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, I'll come back to gold in a while. Let's look at EUR USD. This is another setup for EUR USD. So for EUR USD, last week I was looking for a buy. I can't remember exactly where the buy entry was. I think it was somewhere along this line. Yeah, it was here. So the buy was here, my take profit was here, and the stop loss was here. So it was also a good trade, but again, price did not push the take profit. I personally got into this trade. I didn't take profit here at this entry. Instead, I took halfway. So last week I ended the week with 2% in profit. So I ended the week with a healthy profit. Let me see. Let me see what was my trade last week. Yeah, so I ended the week with 2.3% profit, and it was, no, I have not analyzed gold yet. Hi, trading mask. Hi, Ngwenya. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but no, I have not analyzed gold yet. But if you guys got into my gold trade last week, you should have been able to make 10% at its peak. Okay, at its peak it went to 10%. I personally didn't get into it because it looked too scary for me. Okay, so let's start with EUR/USD. Let's see what's happening. Okay, I still think EUR/USD is a buy. Do you guys see anything else going on with EUR/USD? I personally don't. I only see a very clear buy, right? Because it's going on an obvious uptrend. But then again, this is the daily chart. So on the daily, on the long term, I think it's a buy. It's just that I think it's probably doing a pullback right now. It looks like it's wants to do a pullback right now. If it does a pullback, this is one zone I might aim for. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna mark this. Okay, let's go down to the 4 hours to see what's happening. You know, 4 hours is also going on an uptrend. Okay, cool. I know it's an uptrend. I want to get in for a buy. Question is, where do I get in for the buy? So let's mark out some support resistance. Let's mark out some support and resistance. I'm gonna mark this zone because support and resistance is a zone. Okay, remember that it is a zone. It is not one price. Yeah, I'm gonna mark this zone. I'm happy with this zone. Why? Because I'm taking like this high and this low here, okay, to give me that zone. Is price gonna come here and then continue up? Let's see. I hope so, actually. I hope so. Okay, hold on. I might want to play the sell for EUR/USD because although the bigger time frames, the 4 hours and the daily is showing an up, I know the smaller time frames will be showing a downtrend. Okay, so it makes me kind of want to do the short because like if you're just scalping or day trading, it kind of is a sell. But if you are swing trading or like kind of day trading to swing trading, it is a buy. So because I do want to focus on day trading, I might want to get in on a sell today. Okay, I might want to get in for a sell today just to play this pullback. Where am I pulling back to? I am quite happy with this purple zone. Let's just do some analysis. Let's just pull some Fibonacci levels. Yep, I'm very happy with this zone. Give me a moment, guys, to do some analysis to where I think USD is going to go. Yeah, this zone, I'm happy with this zone, to be honest. I am happy with that zone. Hold on. I'm gonna take this really big one and see if I can find anything. You know, guys, it's looking as if there is a really strong resistance here. Do you guys see this green box? Do you guys see how there is a 100% lining up there, a 50%, and then there's a 23.6 lining up there? So it makes me 23.6 lining up there. So it makes me think that price will come here and then maybe do a U-turn from here, or the next zone will be here. But I'm more likely to think that it's the green zone because there's more levels lining up there. Okay, so there's two things that I might consider doing. Okay, I might consider doing. I won't tell you if I'm gonna do it because I'm still thinking about it. Number one is I might consider I might consider scalping. So something that looks like this, get in somewhere around like now maybe, and then just play a really short trade. Okay, this is just a scalping trade that I might consider getting in on. Okay, if not, the safer thing to do, because on the 4 hours and on the daily it is on an uptrend, the safer thing to do is to wait for price to move to this zone, this purple zone, green and purple zone, and then get ready to enter for a buy. Okay, that is the safest thing to do. Okay, if yeah, that is the safest thing to do. If I'm gonna get in for a buy, I'll probably get in here somewhere along this line, buy entry, and then my stop loss just at the bottom. Sorry, stop loss. And my take profit will be, this is my potential take profit, obviously, but there is a possibility, you know, price is going to go like, it's gonna be choppy and it might stop me out. So if you want a safer take profit, it's gonna be down here. Okay, obviously if you put it down there, it's not going to give you a very good risk to reward. Okay, 1 to 3, still not too bad. Can you analyze gold, US30 and BTC for me? Yep, we will do gold and BTC. US30 we'll look at US30 in a while, but we'll just look at it later in a while. The reason why I'm a bit reluctant to do US30 is because US30, the US index, is also quite like volatile in news. So it makes me a bit reluctant to look at US30 because depending on what the news say, it might, you know, go differently from technical analysis. Okay, so I'm done with EUR/USD. It's basically waiting for price to get to this area, and then I'll consider getting in for a buy. Or the other way is play a really short scalp to this area. Okay, a really short scalp. So I could consider selling a really scalping and selling, and then after that considering a buy when price gets here, because price is not there yet. And if you want to get in a trade, like shorting might be possible, but just remember, please remember, if you are shorting, you are going against trend, and it is very dangerous to go against trend. Okay, reminder, it is dangerous to go against trend. Don't do it unless you're feeling adventurous or you're feeling, you know, you're risking very little. Okay, so I'm happy with EUR/USD. I'm just giving you guys a rough idea, but yes, I'm happy with that idea of EURUSD. Okay, moving on, let's do gold. Okay, I need to zoom out for gold because I am still using Elliott wave for gold. It's working pretty well for me. Okay, Elliott wave is doing ABC right now. So I think price is doing A, B, and then we're probably in C right now. Okay, that's what I personally think is happening. Okay, by the way, for those who know what Elliott wave is, it is, I think it's doing an ABC, but this is just a small ABC within an ABC. So there's going to be another A, B, and C. So I think gold is going to go sideways for a while. I think like weeks, if not months. Gold is just going to keep hovering within this range for a while because we are currently in wave 4 of Elliott wave. Okay, for those who know what I'm saying. For those who don't know what I'm saying, don't worry. Elliott wave is not something you can master very easily. Basically, Elliott wave is a technical analysis tool, and I use Elliott wave to analyze gold because it has been working very well for me. I don't use Elliott wave for EURUSD because every chart has a different strategy that works. I find that EURUSD doesn't work with Elliott wave doesn't work that well with EURUSD or forex pairs. I find it works really well with cryptocurrency and XAUUSD. Okay, so cool. I do think it's still on a downtrend. I think this is just a pullback. Okay, so that being said, give me a moment to come up with something. I think it's gonna pull back to somewhere along this line, and then it's gonna continue with the downtrend. Not downtrend, but like it's going to pull back to the downside. Yep, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. Okay, I think I can be wrong, by the way. Gold is might react somewhere here. Okay, it's gonna react somewhere here, and then this is where I will consider getting in for a sell. Okay, I'm gonna consider getting in for a sell somewhere within this green box. My stop loss is going to be, if I'm being very conservative, honestly, up here, just above this swing high. If not, if I want to play a really tight stop loss, I will just do it here. Okay, and then I'm going to put my take profit back at this zone. So far looking pretty decent. Don't know for sure, maybe 1 to 3. Yeah, 1 to 3 trade. I think that's pretty healthy, honestly. Yeah, I think that's pretty healthy. Okay, it could be even more. Yep, I'm happy with this. Let me see. Okay, it looks like a 1 to 5 now. Yes, 1 to 5, 1 to 6, depending on where you get in. It could be 1 to 5, 1 to 6. Honestly, looks like a healthy, pretty healthy trade. If price gets here, I will consider getting in on a sell. Why am I getting in on a sell? Because based on, okay, I'm gonna write my reasons why. Why sell? Elliott wave showing wave 4, which is the corrective pullback wave. Okay, so again, I need to go back to the daily to double confirm this. Okay, so we're doing A, B, and then I think C is here. For those who got confused, I'm sorry, cannot really explain in detail what I'm doing because Elliott wave is not something you can master in one webinar. Yeah, okay, I think this is what gold is going to do. I think it's doing this right now. A, B, it's gonna do B, and then C here. see somewhere here. So it's gonna look something like this. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, so I think I think B is going to end here, and then we'll continue down this way. So once price gets to this level, I will consider getting in for a sell. Only if price gets to that level. If it doesn't get to the level, I'm not going to enter gold, okay? I'm not going to enter gold. Take note, based on my analysis, gold is going to go sideways for a while. It's gonna keep doing this for a while. I don't know for how long, like it could take weeks to months, but I think it's gonna go sideways for a while because we are in wave 4 of Elliott wave. Wave 4 of Elliott wave, if you guys Google or go and do some research about it, is the most boring wave where price will just keep going sideways for a long time. It bores the trader and then it tries to kick traders out of the market by borrowing them out. Okay, so we are currently in that borrowing stage where price is just going to keep going sideways. For how long? Again, we just need to wait for price to end. Okay, that's all I have for gold. Yeah. Hold up, guys. Just trying to see if I can find a sell for URUSD. Yeah, you know what? It's just safer to play the buy. It is just safer to get in here for the buy. Just don't even bother with the sell. I think you should just wait for the buy. Okay, but sorry, I see it. Okay, if you must get in for a, if I must come up with an analysis for a sell, this is what I'll consider doing. And this being my take profit. Okay, this is just a very short scalping trade that I will consider getting in on. Obviously the entry can be, it will be somewhere within this range, within here. Okay, this is where the entry will be. My stop loss is gonna be, ideally the stop loss should be here, but I know that's going to be hard. So somewhere along here, we're looking at, looks like a 1 to 4. Yeah, 1 to 4 trade. And then once price gets there, okay, so that's, I don't advise anyone getting in on that sell. It's just that I see it. It may not necessarily be correct, okay? Okay, cool. The next thing is, again, gold. I'm happy with this sell. I need to wait for price to get here, and then I get in for a sell. Do not get in for the buy for gold. Okay, I think price is gonna come here and then do a U-turn. Do not get in for the buy. The reason why you do not get in for the buy for gold, because right now it could just turn. Okay, it could just turn right now. Okay, so that's all I have. Okay, let's look at BTC USD as requested. I haven't done BTC USD analysis in a while, so you have to give me a while to look at this. Okay, so we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 ABC. Then we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 3. Hold on, give me a moment. 1. For those who are confused, I'm using Elliott wave. I think this is a 1, 2. We are currently in the 3 right now. We are currently in the 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, I'm happy with the idea that that BTC is definitely in an uptrend. Definitely an uptrend. Where do I get in for BTC then? Yeah, I'm happy with my analysis. Definitely happy that we are in wave 3. Cool. Okay, let's look for an entry for BTC. Give me a moment to look at this. If BTC were to pull back, I will consider getting in on a buy. Okay, I just need to give me a moment, identify. If BTC were to pull back, I will consider getting in on a buy in one of this zone. Either 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, or 4. I just need to see which one is it going to be. Set. Nope, I don't see anything. Give me a moment, guys. Trying to look for something. Nope, that's not it. Okay, no. Okay, I think if BTC pulls back right now, it has to be right now, then I would think it will pull back to, I'm gonna get rid of this one. I don't see why it would suddenly pull back to this spot here randomly. Right, this is just random, there's no reason it will pull back there for no. Okay, I'm happy with this analysis. I see this zone here being where BTC might pull back to. Okay, if BTC pulls back to this zone here where I have marked it green, this is where I would consider a buy entry. Okay, I might consider a buy entry for the long term. Okay, I just don't know if it is going to pull back to that zone. Right, I just really don't know. Sorry guys, I see a putting in my order. Okay, I just don't know if it's going to pull back to here. The other thing we want to look at is, sorry, DXY. Okay, DXY is doing like a little pullback to the upside. That means that USD being a sell, a short-term sell would make sense. Okay, this would make sense for a short-term sell because it's opposing currency, which is DXY is kind of going up. Okay, where is it gonna go up to? Let me see. It could end right now, to be honest. Yeah, it could just end right now. So if it ends right now, then this EUR/USD sell would no longer be valid. But if it continues going up just a little bit more, then this would still be valid. Okay, but otherwise I am still confident that the buy is here. Okay, so I'm happy with this EUR/USD. Gold, again, I am happy with this coming here and then turning from here, only from this area. Any other price I'm not going to consider. I mean, as of right now, I also am not going to consider getting in on a buy. Why? Because there is a chance that XAUUSD might just turn right now. Okay, so EUR/USD. Okay, BTC, I need to wait for the trend to end, but once the trend ends, it has to do a pullback, right? Because price is always constantly going on a zigzag pattern. So now that it's going on an uptrend, it needs to pull back. Where is it going to pull back to? I think it's going to be this zone here. It is a little far-fetched because I know that's like a quite far from where price is right now. If it does pull back, I think it's going to be here. If not, the closer one will be here. I'm not going to consider getting in on BTC because, yeah, the possibility is too broad. Okay, so it's either going to be here or within this box. Okay, it's either going to be there or within the box. Whichever it is, I do definitely think BTC is on an uptrend and should be at a buy. Okay, other than that, I do want to look at these other setups. Let's go. Okay, this did not work out. I did say that it's a low probability setup anyways. So this trade did not work out. I remember saying not to get in. Okay, it is on an uptrend. So do you guys see that it's on a very clean uptrend right now? Okay, it's moving in a very nice uptrend. Give me a moment. Oh, sorry guys. It's probably moving in a channel. Where's my channel? Channel, parallel channel. There you go. Okay. It is moving in a very nice channel. So price touched. It's just moving so nicely in this channel. I expect price to continue moving in this channel. Okay, two options for GBP, JPY. The first is to continue playing in the channel. That means right now, look for a sell entry. Okay, right now look for a sell entry. Obviously the top of the channel was the best, but we already missed it. So let's see what's the next best sell entry is. It's honestly here. I see it. I see this being a really good sell entry. And the take profit can be here. That's a little far-fetched. Obviously that's gonna take a while. So the closer take profit is here, which still looks like a 1 to 2 trade. Yep, it is a 1 to 2 trade. If not, it is a 1 to 5 trade. I actually might consider getting in on this. Yeah, I really might consider getting in on this. Okay, I'm happy with this short-term sell for GBP JPY. It's a very short-term sell. I mean, I do want to see price kind of pull back a little, but if it doesn't, I think, yeah, this is where it is. Even if you get in right now, yeah, don't get in right now. If you get in right now, it doesn't make sense anymore. The trade just does not make sense anymore. It has to be here. This is the best entry for this trade. If it pulls back, I might consider getting in. Could you please do GBP USD? Yes, I can. If price pulls back here, I might consider getting in. It looks like a really good setup. Okay, so reason I'm getting in for a sell, even though it's on an uptrend, because we're playing within the channel. Okay, I'm gonna go out to double confirm what I'm doing. Price is moving very nicely within this channel. There's no reason for us to suddenly think it's not going to continue moving within this channel. So I think it's going to continue moving here. Therefore, that's why I'm playing the short. Okay. It is risky. Obviously, this is not a very high probability trade because the better trade will be to get in at the bottom rather than getting in at the top. Why? Because price on the overall is moving up, right? So if price is moving up, you want to get in for a buy and not a sell. So getting in for a sell means that you're going against trend because, I mean, look, price is going up. It could very well do this, right? It doesn't have to come back to the bottom of the channel. But I'm just saying that if you are going in on a very, I might consider getting in on this even though it's going against trend, but I'll get in at a very, very, very small risk because I'm going against trend. If price reaches the bottom of the channel, this is where I will get in at a bigger risk. I'll get in at a like maybe a 1%, and right now I'll get in at a 0.5% or lower kind of trade. Okay, so this is what I see for GBP JPY. Let's see AUD JPY. Yeah, this did not work out either. That's fine. I did say that this was a low probability setup. So last week I gave you guys 4 setups. XAU USD, which played out. You had to take profit earlier, but it did play out perfectly. EUR USD also played out. I was in the EUR USD trade and I did 2% profits last week. I did AUD JPY, which did not work out, but I did say it is a low probability setup, so you shouldn't have gotten in anyways. And then I did GBP JPY, which did not work out, but it's also a low probability setup. Okay, why were they both low probability? Because we were going against trends, so obviously if you go against trends, it's going to be risky. Same, I gave you guys a setup for EUR USD. This is risky because you are, well, this is not that risky, but on the overall, on the bigger time frame, price is going up, so it could be risky. Okay, other than that, let's just finish this analysis and then we can go look at GBP USD. Okay, let's go to the daily time frame first. Get rid of everything so that I can have a clear picture. Yeah, so AUD JPY looks like it's going down. It looks like it's going down. Sorry. What I kind of want to see is price kind of rejecting soon. It just cannot surpass this part. Maybe reject somewhere here and then continue with that downtrend. And that would be perfect. But otherwise it's I do think the overall trend is down for the long term. Okay, for the short term of it is going up because when we look at the structure, right? When we look at this structure, although overall it is going down, right? Overall it is going on a downtrend, but if you look at a zigzag, when it's doing a zigzag, it still needs to go up first. It still needs to do a pullback. So I think price is currently at a pullback phase. That's why it is currently going up on the smaller time frames. So we do want to consider getting in on a buy. Okay, let me look for some zones to get in for that buy. Swing low here, happy with this. Give me a moment, guys, to pull out some zones. Okay, if price pulls back, I would consider this area as a buy zone. Okay, I know there's one higher, it's just that there's no swing low or no. Okay, so I pull out Fibonacci to see where is the stronger part, where the stronger resistance is. So why is it important to identify support and resistance? It's because price tends to pull back to support and resistance zones and then reject it. So it pulls back kind of like a magnet, but then it has a problem breaking it. So when you think of support and resistance, just think of like going through a door. Okay, so let's say this is you. Sorry, I'm gonna draw me. I'm walking this direction. Okay, so this is a door. If this door is locked, if it's a very heavy door, I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna push the door, right? I'm gonna push the door and I'm gonna have a hard time opening that door. So if I have a hard time opening that door, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna turn back, right? I'm not gonna try anymore. I'm gonna go back the other direction. So price is like attracted to these doors here. These are the doors that price wants to come and try. So it's gonna come here, it's gonna try to open this door. I think this is not a strong door. I think it's gonna break through, so price is gonna come here. When it gets here, this is probably gonna be a harder or heavier door to push open. So then price will just U-turn, and this is where you get in for your buy. Okay, so this is where you get in for your buy. So that's the concept, how you can see like support and resistance. It's a good way to see it. Okay, so I think when price gets here, this support here is not going to hold. This is not going to hold. Rather, price is going to break through and then come to this area, if it even comes here. Okay, if it even comes here. Because the thing is, price is still moving upwards, right? So I don't know if the trend has ended and it's gonna turn right now. If it turns, this is what might happen. If it doesn't turn, it's just gonna continue upwards, and then you have to redo the analysis at a different time. Okay, it's just that at this current point of time, this is the only thing that I can kind of forecast or predict with whatever information is available on the charts. Okay, I'm gonna clean this up a little to make it look decent. Buy stop loss, and my take profit will be just back here. I always give 2 take profits now because sometimes price isn't strong enough, the volume or the liquidity isn't strong enough to like push price to the take profit. So I always give 2 take profits now so that in case price isn't strong enough to push back, at least you hit your first take profit. Okay, so this is what I have for AUDJPY. The question is, will price pull back to this area? I don't know. It's hard to tell. We have to wait and see what price does. Okay, so let's move on to the next chart, which is GBP JPY. Oh, GBP USD. Yeah, so someone is Buddha Lama is requesting for GBP JPY USD. All the pairs that are against US dollars at this current point of time is going down. Why? Because the US dollar is going up, right? I'm talking about short term, okay? I'm not talking about long term. On the very short term, US dollar is going up. Therefore, anything that is against the US dollar is currently going down, okay? Because it's opposite, right? So even XAU USD, I expect it to do the pullback and then go down. If it doesn't pull back to this area, I expect it to go down right now. EUR USD, I expect it to eventually go down somewhere. Okay, I expect it to eventually go down somewhere once it's done with this. It's reaching the sell entry. Volume is, it's probably gonna test this area, this green box here. Okay, it's going to test this green area here, and then I think it's going to continue down. Okay, so back to GBP USD. I do think it's going down on the very short term, so I'll give you a short term analysis and not a long term one. Okay, it's hard for me to give you a sell because I see a buy. Okay, there's a very clear buy happening. Price is doing higher highs and higher lows. Okay, it's very clear that price is doing higher highs and higher lows. So where do I think price we can get in for a buy for this? Just give me a moment. I need to go down to the daily to see if I see anything on the daily time frame. The only thing I see is this. Yeah. Give me a moment to find that a little. Okay. I think somewhere in this green box, price is going to reverse. I don't think it's right now because there's still that little bit of room for price to come down to. Okay, let's go down to the smaller time frames to see. Oh, okay, I take it back. There is a possibility price is done and could just reverse right now. Yeah, there is a possibility price is done and could just reverse right now. That's why a doji appeared, because it's uncertain. Like, you're uncertain whether price is going to reverse right now or continue downwards. But I think more likely it's going to be somewhere within this green box. So I'm just going to extend that green box to a bit higher. Okay, so I think price is going to reverse somewhere within this green box. Is it right now? I'm not sure. Let me see. Oh, it actually could be right now. I mean, it could be here. Here, this is where. Give me a moment. I need to look for more analysis. Okay, honestly, guys, it's looking like this. Price is gonna reverse here. It's really looking like price is gonna reverse here. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that price is going to reverse here, which is what just happened. And this is the take stop loss. Take profit is gonna be here. Or being more conservative here. Okay, it's just looking that way. Just give me a moment. Okay, no indication of. There is a possibility that price might just reverse here right now, like here, or it could be slightly lower. It could be slightly lower, which is here. Either way, I'm not gonna get into this trade because actually no. Everything is pointing to this zone here. Yeah. I'm gonna stick with this analysis. Do not get into this trade, okay? If you're thinking about it, do not get into this trade. I think I can be wrong. Price gonna reverse right now and then head to the take profit. I personally will not get into this trade because I'm second guessing myself. If I second guess myself, it means that it's already not a high probability trade. Okay, you know when it's a good trade when you look at it and you're just like, I know for sure. I know like there's a high chance this will work out. This looks like it might work out. I'm just not sure if it will. Okay, so if this works out, I mean, you can't get in at the lowest bottom place, but it would have been 1 to 3. If you get in right now, it's a 1 to 1. This is why you don't get in. This is why you don't get in because the trade wouldn't make sense anymore because the risk to reward doesn't make sense. Okay, so I'm just gonna take it that this trade is, even if I am correct, even if my analysis is correct, I'm gonna take it that this is this trade is not gonna happen because I already missed the entry. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. I'll see you guys again in a week. Hopefully something works out. Let's go through again what I think is gonna happen. BTC gonna pull back to either here or here. So this is not a trade for today. I think this might happen, but there's no trade anymore because and price is here right now. Unless for some reason price goes back to the entry one more time, I might consider getting in. Okay, this one is a dangerous sell. Okay, this is a dangerous sell going against trend. So what I think is might happen is that price might pull back to this area, so you can get in for a sell here, and then here you get in for a buy. But because you are going against trend, there is a possibility price will just continue up right now and not pull back. Okay, that's why it's dangerous to go against trend. Okay, AUDJPY, another one where you need to wait for the pullback, not today as well. XAU, USD. The only way I will consider getting in on this trade, although I don't like getting on a sell, the only logical thing I see is price pulling back to here and then going here. You might think that, oh, why don't I just get in for the buy now? Do not get in for the buy. Okay, do not get in for a buy because there is a chance price is going to U-turn right now. Okay, there is a chance that price is going to U-turn right now. I just see this one being a more high probability trade. So this is not a trade for today. This might happen sometime later in the week. Okay, sometime later in the week. EUR USD, I think possible sell entry here in this zone. Possible sell entry somewhere in this zone. It's just that again going against the bigger trend, so you need to be careful with this one. This is probably the highest probability one. Okay, so why am I considering a sell? Okay, downtrend on H1, DXY currently uptrend, which confirms the correlation. Yeah, I think I'm happy with those reasons alone. I'm just happy with those reasons alone. No indication of sudden trend reversal. No major support hit yet. Okay, so I think there's still room for a downtrend. I think of everything I analyze, EUR/USD is probably the highest probability. Okay, DXY is still currently an uptrend. Okay, that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks, guys. I will see you guys in a week. The only thing that I will really consider getting in is this EUR/USD. The rest I'm not really considering at all, unless they get to where price is. Okay, again, you do not have to force multiple trades. If you see one good one, that's all you need. I only got into EUR/USD last week and it made me 2%. Okay, 2% may sound like very little, but if you're making 2% every week, that's 8% a month, which is professional level. Okay, take care guys. See you guys in a week. Bye.